What a strange picture. But that's the essence of a crystal radio. This is a crystal of, could be germanium or some other thing. But anyway, this is the crystal that acts as the diode of the radio. That's where it gets its name, a crystal radio. It requires no power. It is powered from the air by picking up the changing voltage in the signal in the air. Now, how do we tune the radio to different signals? Well, let's start with the antenna. The signal gets picked up on in my case, it was a straight wire connected from the gutter of the house to a tree in the backyard. And that was then connected. We had a wire to the ground pipe. A water pipe was the ground of this whole thing. And then the coil was, let me show you the coil. Here's the coil of wire. Could be just a cardboard tube with magnet wire wound around it and a little wiper arm to move up and down that coil, so that this was a variable inductance which would select out different radio frequency signals from the air. There's that little cat whisker thing right there. There's the 1,000 ohm. Oops, let me point to it this way. There's the cat whisker. There's the slider that goes up and down the cardboard tube. There's the 1,000 ohm earphones. One side of the earphones is connected to a ground connection. One side is connected to the other side of the diode, and another side of the diode is connected to this wiper arm, which is the adjusts the coil. Now, how does this whole thing work? Well, I think I described everything except the diode. If you just listen to the RF signals directly, the RF signal is way above the frequency of your hearing. Your hearing is about 20,000 at the very top end, and somebody like me, the top end for me is probably about 14,000. So maybe even less than that. So how do you listen to something? Well, that radio wave, the amplitude of that radio wave is adjusted up and down, which is amplitude modulation, and that up and down can be detected with this diode that only lets half of that signal come through. Half of the signal forms a nice audio modulated audio signal, which is then fed to the headphones. Now, what age was I when I built this thing? Mine looked even cruder than this. The wiper arm was just a piece of flat metal that went from the diode to the tuning coil. And it looks here like I don't even see the connection from the coil to the cat whisker. That wire must come behind there or something. It's a little thin thing. So let me try to say anything else about this. Oh, I said, what age was I? Less than 10. Probably more like 7 or 8 years old. So this was electronics at 7 or 8 years old. And so that kind of shows you where I got started with all this stuff. And eventually that went into audio amplifiers and other tube type radios and so on, which I'll have another video about because the memories are flooding in now and I can't quite keep track of them.